Hello there. This is Cheryl Lentz, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I'm a little out of breath. I ran our dog. Our animals pretty much rule our house here. And so anyhow, the dog has to go for a ride in the car every day. With my knee blown, I can't walk her, and she's used to taking walks with Peter. And so she's sort of, go on, lay down. She's under my desk now. So she refuses to go to the door, and she needs to go for a ride. So I took her for a ride today. And then I picked up some lunch, and then it's here. Sorry about that. I picked up a little lunch, and then Travis texted me, and so I picked up lunch for him and drove it to where he's working. And so we had lunch together in the car. It's a beautiful day. It's only 55 or so here, but the sun is out. It's gorgeous. We haven't seen the sun in so long. So that's why I'm a little late. But anyhow, I have been playing with, I don't have new monkey cut kits. I'm hoping next week we will have the new ones with the new catalog. We have them all planned out. I just have to get them here and get all the product here. And then what we're going to do is they'll make up a certain amount, and when they're gone, they're gone. And but we're gonna start with doing that. So hello, Miss Vera. So I'm out of breath. So anyhow, all morning I was playing with this set. I'm trying to get ready for my open house this Saturday from 9 to 1. We're just going to have some things to show, the products that I got to order on pre-order. So I have a couple more to play with. I have 4 of them back there where I played with them and had at least 3 different cards made with them. This morning was the day for cup of tea. Oh my goodness. I love this set so much. I love the colors. I love the paper. I love the stamp set, the dot, everything about it. I just love. So I'm going to turn it around. I have one cut and ready to go. And then if we have time, if anybody's interested, I have kind of a fun fold, just a Z fold, and we can design another one, and I'll cut it and do it while we're here today. So I don't have it prepped is what I'm saying. So we'll do that together if y'all are interested. So let me turn the camera around, and then we'll get started here. Here we go. I have my breath now. All right. So close your eyes if this bothers you. We're going to go for a little ride down to my desk. Well, that's more than a little ride. Holy cow. All right. I got to settle in here. Oh my goodness sakes. All right. Look, I didn't even write on my board, but I have this little piece of paper written out. All right, finally, I'm here. Let me know you're here. When I stand up, I can see. So this is a cup of tea stamp set. These are the dies. They're so great. Love the dies. I mean, I haven't even utilized all of them, and I'm just loving it. So here's the card that we're going to do today. So I'm using that glimmer, it's glimmer ombre paper with the new in colors, and I just love it. I just think it's so, you can see the sparkle. It is absolutely beautiful. So I went from the lighter to the darker and did this card as a little thank you card. And I used the new stylish dies. Good afternoon, Jean. The stylish dies, which everybody is going to want to cut out the square and this little tag underneath there. So, ta-da. We're using Orchid Oasis and Starry Night for our colors. So let me move this aside. Put this over here. Okay. So I have all my little pieces. Now, because this is ombre, here's one where I cut a cup out of it. So it goes from, light to dark, dark to light, however you want to say it. So I was cutting it like this. This is 5 1/4, but I was cutting it so that as I went, the darker it goes, right? So I did one, and then it's like light a little bit, and then it goes darker. And then here's the next pieces that just keep going darker and darker. So much fun. So same layout, but the card will have a different look to it just because of that. So I cut the paper. So this is 6 by 6. The cup of tea paper. What do they call it? Probably cup of tea. Tea Boutique, it's called. Love, love, love this paper. So I did 2 other cards this morning, and then I did this one. So I'm just going to kind of glue my pieces together. I went ahead and cut this out. This is that stylish shapes that I said everybody needs. Everybody needs. Great, great basic set. So let's just, and then I did emboss this, the front, with, let's see here. I can tell you. I needed something subtle. I wanted something with little flowers, but the one with little flowers is retired. So I wanted to use something current. So I used the time-worn type. Say that fast. It's a 3D folder. And it just gives you a little bit, see that? Just a little bit of texture, which is what I wanted. Because the pattern is small, I wanted a small pattern on my, for texturing. All right, oof, da. Okay, let's start gluing. I'm gonna start putting some of these pieces together just so I can get them out of the way, and then we'll do some stamping, and we have to do a little bit of cutting out. I have had so much fun with this, well, with all of them. You know what, I'm in my element when I could just sit and play. I do well this way. Okay, just had my nails done yesterday, so I got new color on here. The last color I tried to kind of match up with the Sweet Sorbet, which it sort of did. This one's a little darker. All right, and then I have my 3 pieces of the glimmer paper. So the plan is to have it like this and then getting darker. So I think this is here like this, like this. Okay. So I always turn it sideways. I line it up with my grid paper. So I am getting this exactly where I want to get it, as far as laying it down. So it's even. So there we go. I'm just going to apply a little glue. And more than just one little line, I'm just kind of smushing it around there because this is going on an uneven surface. So I'm going to pick the first line, and I can put it down, whoopsie daisy, come on now, put it down here and here and match up those lines so that I know I have this on straight. Ta-da, ta-da. All right, next piece, I'm going to do the same thing, only I'm not going to line it up on the one of the graph because I want it closer. So I'm just gonna, but I know that one is straight, so this one should be, hopefully. So this is the Starry Night. This is Orchid Oasis, the base here. But this is the Starry Night glimmer paper. So you can, it is quite a bit darker. This is the Orchid Oasis, so you can see it's quite a bit darker than the other. And again, I'm just gonna try to mimic so I get it about the same distance apart. Ta-da! Give those a good press so you can see that ombre look on there. That's sort of fun. Totally fun. Okay, now we're going to put this piece down just to get it out of the way. The other pieces that we're cutting out, I'm going to have up. I'm going to put extra glue on here only because, again, I'm going over an uneven surface. This is not porous, so it's kind of, let's see here, where did I went about? Let's line this up again. I went about here, I guess. Doesn't have to be exactly the same as the other, but there we go. So I have my loose ends out of the way. Ta-da, ta-da. I can even put this on the front of the card now as long as I'm gluing. So I'm going to go ahead. I loved this. Each one that I played with, I used different colors. This one was the same, but I like this little tiny print. And I wanted to have a little thank you card. And I thought, you know, you usually mail a thank you card. You mail flowers or, you know, have them sent. And I just thought, oh, this is kind of cute. Goes well together. So there we go. Okay, and then I have a piece of the basic white just to stamp all my images on so I can get them done. Now, on the original card, I stamped the flowers with the Orchid Oasis, but it's really dark, and I was wishing that it was a little bit lighter so it would mimic these flowers here. So on the inside, I did stamp off. So this is the same color. This is the Orchid Oasis, but this is stamped off. So I thought that looked better. So I'm going to do that on the front here just to see if I can mimic that a little bit more. So the green I chose to go with today is Garden Green. This particular paper, you can go with Garden Green. You can go with the Parakeet Party. And so I'm just going to stamp a couple of these here, because I'll have to bring over the cut and emboss machine and we'll get these cut out. I'll give you a couple of tips on the, so that's that. Let's move this over here. A couple of tips on the dies for the little flowers. So this is how I figured out where I needed to go. This is the square that I used for my thank you there. So I'm just going to lay this square up here and I'm going to stamp right in the center. So I know that I have room all the way around. I'm not going to stamp too far up or too far to the side. My verse I did in Starry Sky. So here we go. Here's my little thank you. I just thought this worked out well, so I know exactly that I have enough room in there. And it's straight. There we go. Ta-da. All right. Then I have my little flowers, and I am going to stamp these off. So I ended up using 3 little flowers. So much is always the odd number, right? But I'm going to try doing these, stamping them off. So I'm just going to ink it up, hit it once on here, and then here. So these flowers will be just a tad lighter. There we go. Ta-da. Okay. All right. Now let's bring over our machine, our cut and emboss machine. I made it a little bit wider, so I'm going to have to use the big one here. So here it comes. Here it comes. Da, 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 da. This one is pretty rough, I guess, but we're going to use it. Okay, so when I'm cutting these out, I'm going to have to do a couple of passes because they only have one with the leaf, but I'm going to just kind of center my little thank you on there again. So these little flowers, you do get 2 of those dies, but of course, you know, I did it 3 times, so where's my leaf? Uh-oh. Oops. I have somebody at the door. Well, I don't know what that is. They're going to have to wait, I guess. Oh, here's my leaf right here. All righty. Oh, and then the dog will bark. Let's see here. So, okay, so here's my little flowers. So I'm always talking about looking at the dies to see you know, how they go. And there's usually one that kind of stands out. So I thought this one is sort of standing out, this petal, away. You have some petals that are closer. So the standout one is right here. Ta-da. Let's see, do I have that right? No. Let's see here. I just did these and I was like, okay, let's get it right. Your flower, your die fits around here perfectly. So if it's not lined up perfectly, it's not in the right spot. You're going to get too much white around there. So there we go. So here's the one that's sort of standing on its own. That's how I kind of look at it. And there we go. So on this one, the little dot there, you should see the green stem. So hopefully they don't move. So let's put them in here. And I just kind of hover it over and then push it down. Say, do not move, please, do not move. There we go. Okay, now I have one more leaf and one more flower to cut out. So let's get my little square over here. Love those new square dies. So much fun. Okay, I can put one flower down, put this down. Here we go. I just need one flower die. And move that off to the side. Okay. So again, this one is kind of off on its own, kind of bent over, and that's what this looks like too, the little die. So just kind of, you can spin them, but if you, oh, look at it, you'll know. I forgot to do my leaf. I need another leaf. I don't know who's at the door. Okay, can't get in. Doors are locked. Here we go. Okay. They must have gone away because the dog stopped barking. Okay, here we go. So, ta-da, ta-da. There. Okay. Now the fun part, just putting it together. So I'm going to put my dies back on here so I don't lose them. I'm good at that. Losing them. There we go. So here's all my little pieces and my flowers there. So I started out with my thank you, and I want this to go around it. So I wanted it popped up, but the next layer of the squares makes it much bigger, and I didn't want to cover up so much of it, but I wanted that dark color under there, just because I think it looks good and makes it stand out, like I said. So I took a little bit of green glue here. I'm just going to put it in the middle and just eyeball it here to get it kind of even on there. There we go. Ta-da. Just like that. So that can go to the side. My leaves, I just kind of placed them. I played with this for a long time, y'all. I sort of placed them like this, just opposite each other, because this is going to go right on top, like here. So then I could decide how far out I wanted it out of the picture. I like when it kind of goes out of the frame like that. But I want it the same, so I'm going to put this one in a little bit more. Or should I pull this one out a little bit more? There we go. Sort of like that. I just sort of played with it until I liked the look of it. It was kind of swooping over. So I'm going to put those there, and then I will just glue them on. I just put a little bit of glue on the bottom side here. And however it goes, it goes. This is how it's going to be. This is how where it's glued on, it will work. So there we go. All right. Dimensionals on this one. So I just put them in the four corners here. There we go. I like the font on these. There is nothing bad about this set, I'm telling you. The paper is just so much fun. Okay, so then I'm just kind of looking up and down, side to side, trying to get it sort of straight. There we go. Just like that. Now I have my three little flowers, and I found that it was easier. First of all, I'm going to place them where I want them, and then I put glue dots on them. So, and they could all kind of go in a different spot than the original one. It just depends on, you know, where I'm going here, where everything is. Then I put one over here, kind of hanging off. So this one went up, that one went there. Come on, stay down. And this one was sort of hanging off. So what I did was I took a mini dimensional and just put it under half of that flower because I like that idea of it hanging off. So again, I use all the edges and all that good stuff. So this flower is going to have a little mini dimensional on there, and that will hold it on here. There, did I get it off? Yes, I did. Okay, Just buddy that up. Okay, now I took my glue dots, which are hidden on my desk somewhere near. Where did I put them? All right, here, oh, right here. I knew I had them. Okay. So I took my little glue dots. There we go. And I put my flowers. Whoop, where is my other? Here, they're on here. Oh my gosh. I'm frazzled. Here we go. And this one here. So I put them on there. Then I can pick them up and put them where I want. So this one can go over here. Ta-da. Want to go under there again? Go on, Malaya. Thank you for guarding the locked door. Okay, and then this one we're going to put up over here. Just in the corner there. Ta-da. And then I just kind of pull off the extra here so I don't have that tail all the time. All right, so then what I did was I used some of the in color dots. These are beautiful matte dots, just like in the picture. So I'm using a lighter. This is actually fresh freesia, these little flowers, but I just made them lighter. And then I'm going to use my dots and put that, these little mini ones here. So it matches the base of my card. Oops. So on the front, that's what I'm doing. I'm going to stamp these on the inside, but on the, come back here, little one. On the inside, I am going to use my blend, my Starry Night blend. There, ta-da. So, love those matte dots. That's cute. I like that. Okay, let's do the inside. We're almost done here. So on the inside of the card, I did Starry Night for the verse, and I just wrote, let's get together soon. So you're sending a thank you card and an invite to get together. That's fun. Here we go. Let's get together soon. Let's see here. These are photopolymer, so I don't even think I got that straight. Let's start it again. Sorry. Okay, come on. Okay, I like that better. Now, I stamped off on my flowers for inside, which is using the Orchid Oasis. This little group of flowers has a die and it cuts out each one individually. And I think it's supposed to go with these little branches, like it would all fit in there. If you were just to stamp those on, you could do that too. But what I wanted to do was have it kind of go around my verse. So I inked it up. I wanted it to frame the verse. There you go. That's what I'm looking for. And I just did like this. Ta-da. Then I did not stamp off on the green on the first time, but I think this time, since I stamped off on the flowers, I'm going to stamp off on the greenery too. And I just did one in the corner here, like that. So inside will be all kind of soft hues. And then the little flower again, I will put one down here. So I'm going to stamp off. Ta-da, there. Okay, then I took my dark Starry Sky and I just colored in my little centers here this time. You could use the marker too. Ta-da. So it's just sort of a softer look inside. All right, let me close these up here before I'm wearing them. Ta-da, ta-da. I love the new in colors. Oh my goodness. All right, here we go. Get this glued on here. So when you have your ink pads, I mean, you have so many shades of colors that you can get out of one pad, you know. it's kind of a fun thing to do, is to take a bigger flower and then just stamp it a couple of times, 2-3 times, and you have a whole array of colors in the same hue, but just light and dark. It's sort of fun thing to play with. Okay, here we go. Ta-da! I like that stamped off better than the original where it was full strength. I think that looks good. Okay, so here we go. This is the darker side of the glimmer paper, the lighter side when I first started cutting. And then the flowers are stamped off. But otherwise, you know, pretty much the same. Kind of fun card. So that's the planned card. Now, I'm going to stand up and see if anybody's interested in me doing one other one, kind of a fun fold card. I can show you. I'm just going to wipe these off so if I use them on the next card here. There we go. Okay. So I do have another fun fold card if y'all are interested in seeing it. So this is what I did. So here's this one. And yeah, let's see here. We're going to do, I'm just going to show the fold, and we'll do something different on it. But here's that one. Here is the fun fold. Ta-da. So again, I used the glimmer paper. I did use our adhesive sheets for putting this pretty leaf pattern on top of the other glimmer paper. And that's just a die cut. And then it opens like this. So it would stand open. It will stand up by itself. But it's all folded in there so it goes into a regular envelope. But it's a good opportunity. I love this paper. So look, here is the paper with the teapots. Here is the coordinating paper. Same background without the teapots. I love that they do that. So here's one of them I did. The first one. And then I did this one. And I used the background here, embossed the background. I used the iridescent rhinestones, which I truly love. I wanted to make it completely different. And then, but on this one, I used the back side of this paper, which is this cool check here, print. And then I like the striped cup. And this is using petal pink color. So this is the petal pink. Lighter. And then I did, again, I cut out 3 flowers. Here's where I cut out these 3 little flowers. So you can see that they are cut out and just popped up. Hello, Cheryl. You want to see me make one? Okay. So it's super simple, but it is a great way to show off different designer paper. So we'll do it with this again. Let's pick the paper. Let me put this over here. We'll pick the paper again with the tea set. We'll just carry on with that one since we're doing that one. So here is the paper. Here's the paper I already used. Here's the glimmer paper piece that was left. So here's what I used already. So I don't want to use the same thing. This is pretty close to what I used. Oops, come on now. Okay. So there we go. That is pretty. I love this background, but it's pretty similar to the ones I used. And here is my little, so I've used 3 different sets. Let's see here. I was looking at, I'll show you what I was looking at, this, because it's so bright and cheery. This one. But let me see what we have for a coordinating print. So the back side is the petal pink. And you could use that because these flowers are the petal pink too. So we could just use the back side of that one. This is also lovely. This really soft print. But because I'm covering up so much of it, I just think, I don't know, you'd have a lot covered up. I think a tighter print will look good. Love this one with just the cups. Now that's tight. let's see here. What's on the back side of that? Okay, the plaid. Let's use this one. Let's do the cups. And then we can do a cup like this. I mean, it won't be that same shape, but we can use the sweet sorbet, and we can use the parakeet party and cut that out and use that. All right, let's do that. We'll do that one. We'll use both sides of it. Let's see, do I need another one? I'm gonna put another one out because I think I do. I'll put one more out here. I think I end up using a little more than one. Okay, so here's the paper. This is the paper I'm gonna use. So now we decide what the base should be. And I tend to go a little bit darker. So I'm thinking that we will do, not real dark. Let's use we're gonna use the Orchid Oasis for the base of the card. So I'm gonna bring that out. Move over. I'm moving stuff over here. I don't know, maybe we should use the Starry Night. Starry, starry night. Let's see here. I don't know. I guess we're gonna go Starry Night. We're gonna go darker. Darker. Okay. And then our accent color, I think that we will use, because I had an accent color that goes like on this square behind and over on this piece here. I think, let's see, if we're gonna do the cup in the sorbet, let's go wacky and let's do that. Let's do that and pull that out. That's what we're gonna do. Okay, settled on that. So here's what you have to do. So first of all, I'm going to cut the base of the card. So get a pen out. I'm not good at following through with these instructions. So I'll tell you how I cut it right now. So again, you're going to start out with the standard card, 8.5 by 5. I'm going to have to, yeah, I have to move this over. Okay, I have to open it up. Okay, so 8.5 by 5, which is half of your, this is 8.5. We're going to cut it at 5.5. 8.5 by 5.5. There we go. And then we're going to score this. And so I have my cutting blade up here. We're going to score it at 2 1/8. Score, score, score. And 4 1/4. And 4 1/4. There we go. Okay. So this is going to go just like this. This is going to go here, here. Okay, and we'll burnish it with, I have my bone folder out here in just a minute. So this is the big base. I call it the large base and the small base. So this is the large base. Now for the small base, I need to cut 7 by 3.5. So I'm going to cut this at 3.5. 3.5 inches. And then I'm going to score it at 3.5. Here we go. Score at 3.5. Oopsie. Got to get my cutting blade out of there. Been there, done that. We're going to score it at 3.5 and 5 5/8. So that's just past 5.5 right there. Okay. Is that right? That's not right. Scored at 3.5 and 5 5/8. That is not the same as what I did over here. Wait a minute. Small base, 3.5 and 5 5/8. It is. That doesn't look right. Oh, because I didn't cut this at 7. Silly me. Okay, no problem. Scored at 3.5. Is that this? 3.5? That's not it. Here, this is. I'll fix it, folks. So it's scored at 3.5 and 5 5/8. Which is right there. However, I didn't cut off. This should be 7 inches. So I'm just going to cut this at 7 inches. I missed a cut. I was like, this backside is too big. Okay. So you're going to cut this, let me say this again, 3.5 inches by 7 inches. Then you're going to score it at 3.5 there, and 5 5/8. Ta-da. Which gives you this, you get this little Z. So you get this little tiny tab at the back side. Okay. Now, I'm just going to take my bone folder and I'm just going to give this a good burnish here for those edges that we just did. There. Okay, same thing here. It just works better to sit a little flatter, smoother, to burnish those real good. Okay. So this is going to fit like this. So you've got a Z fold here. The top side is big, and then you've got this little Z fold. And the top side is over here on this side. So it's going to go like this. Ta-da! And fit together. And I'll show you how to put that together so it fits exactly correctly. All right, now we're going to cut the background that's going to go on the back side here. I'm just making a mess. And I want the cups to be there. So the DSP cut for the back side of the large base is going to be cut at 4 inches. Let's see here. DSP is going to be cut at 5 1/4 by 4. So I'm going to cut the 4 inches. No, I'm going to cut 5 1/2, 5 1/4 first. I want to keep this long piece. I try to keep when I'm cutting, I want to use my paper to the best that I can. So if I have a bigger piece versus just a little tiny piece, I'm more likely to use it. So we're going to cut this 6 by 6 piece at 5 1/4. So I have this nice little piece left over to use, and by 4. 5 1/4 by 4. Ta-da. So then I have this other nice piece that we're going to use. So here is this 5 1/4 by 4. That piece is going to go on the back side of the base, just like that. Now I want to cover these two. This again will be 5 1/4, which is what this is, 5 1/4. That's the piece I just cut off. But this should be 5 1/4 by 1 7/8. So I'm going to just cut a smidgen off of here. There we go. Ta-da. And so we can use, what I did on the other one is I used one here that matched the back. And then on this one and the small one, I'm going to use this back side. So on this one, again, I'm going to cut this at 5 1/4. So I have this one big piece left over to use, 5 1/4 by 1 7/8. And that's going to be my other inside piece. Okay, there we go. Ta-da. So laying this out, I have some more to cut, but laying this out, it's going to look like this. So you're going to have cups, and this print here. Now you could, on my first one, I had matching, these two matching with the opposite print. So however you want to do it, you know, I mean, you can, and then on this one, I put the back side of this one in there. So whatever you want to do, you do need 2 pieces of the DSP, no matter what you do. So there we go. And so what do you think? We can vote on this. Should I use this print? Because part of this is going to be covered with the square that goes in the front. And then use the other print. Let's see here. Do I have anybody answering? Hello, Reba. Let's see here. What do you think, ladies? Should we go with this one or should we go this way? This is a delayed reaction too. So what I'm going to do also, yeah, I think that looks good. Okay, we'll go this way. We'll show that pretty bright. Now, I have my little base, okay? So this one is going to have DSP on it too. So, and I will go with this, the stripe or the, I don't know, what do you call that pattern? The checked one. So on my little one, the small base, I need, let's see here. Oops, come back here. On my DSP, let's see here. This one was, this piece is 3.5 by 7. So I want 3 1/4. And then I want by 2 is what I did, I think. 3 1/4 by 2. Yeah. So I'm going to just do a 2-inch cut here by 3 1/4. Ta-da. Okay, and that's going to go right here. So that will match up there. So our accent color is going to be the Sweet Sorbet. And that's going to go over here, and it's going to go over here as a background layer. So on this, because this is 3.5 by 3.5, we're going to cut this, let's see here. We're going to cut this at 3 1/4. I have all my directions here. So we're going to cut this slightly smaller. So this is 3.5 by 3.5. We're going to cut the background piece 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. My brain isn't functioning. I'm still out in the sunshine. Here we go. And this is the Sweet Sorbet. 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. And then that's going to go here. Nice accent. And then this piece here will be 3 1/4 by 1 1/4. So I'm going to cut it here. I love that on the cutter you can use this side. So I don't have to do like this, 1 1/4, and I've got all this hanging out here. I can have this nice and solid, make sure I get it nice and straight, lining it up, and I can use this other side of my tool here. There. Okay. Ta-da! All our pieces are there. Now I need a white piece. So this was 3 1/4 by 3 1/4, so that's going to be 3 by 3. Let's see here if I have a scrap paper here. Let's just... So 3 inches by 3 inches. And that's going to go here. Ta-da! And then this piece here is going to have a white piece. And so that will be 3 inches by 1 inch. 3 by 1. Okay. And that will go right there. Ta-da! 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 Okay. Let's put our pieces together. And then we'll start assembling. And then I'll decide what we're going to stamp on here. But I think we'll get this put together so everything goes in place. All right, there we go. So I generally would have lots of layers on here, but I think it looks good just like this. And it's bulky already, so I don't want to have it too bulky that, you know, it's... you're gonna, because you have the folds and you have all the layering, you know, it tends to be a little bit bulkier. So I don't want to make it too bulky. So I did not do another layer in here, and I think it looks just fine on the back here. Love this paper. Yeah, I played with the man set, He's the Man. So I have a whole bunch of, and I have 3 of them, 3 cards done, whole bunch. But I have 3 cards done for my open house on Saturday. I'm trying to get some samples done with each set that I have. And I have a whole bunch more that's coming tomorrow. So I'm not going to glue the white pieces on yet because I'm going to stamp on those. But I'll glue on the little extra pieces here. So I don't have to have those floating around my desk where I can lose them. I love this sweet sorbet. It's such a soft color. It's really pretty. Okay, here's my little check piece that is going to match the inside piece on the base, the big base, large base of the card. Here we go. Ta-da! This is a little bit longer, so it'll make up for yesterday. We had meetings going on here, and it didn't end until after 3, and then I was kind of tired, so I needed to get my knee up. I'm babying it quite a bit right now while I'm waiting for the surgery, so I don't want anything more to happen. So let's set those aside. Let's decide what we're going to do here. All right, so I wanted to mimic this one here. I'm just going to get some scrap paper out here. These are our good pieces. I want to mimic this cup here. So I want the cup, well, actually, we could cut it out just in the sweet sorbet instead of even stamping it. So the die cuts, where are you? Here you are. Can cut out this cup like this. And that would be in the sweet sorbet. And then I have, here's some of the glimmer paper that I already put some adhesive sheet on. And so if I'm mimicking that, I want to cut out this cup here. I wish it was a little darker. Maybe I'm going to put some more. I'm going to save this one. I'm going to put some more on here, adhesive sheet, because I want to use this darker. I want it a little bit bolder. So this is 6 inches by, what I do is I take my little die and say, okay, so I'm going to get a 2-inch piece by 6 of my adhesive sheet and just put it on here, and then I can use it whenever I want. It'll be ready to go. So let's get my adhesive sheets out here. Let's see here. Do I have a piece that's big enough? Yes, I believe so. I keep all my little scraps because you never know. So here we go. I'm going to take this one and I'm going to cut it at 6 inches so it doesn't overlap. And actually I cut it just a slight under because I don't want that sticky. I don't want anything sticky on my plates when I cut this out. Okay, so here's the adhesive sheet. We're going to put it on the back side. I want it on the darkest portion, so I want it down at the bottom here. So you just kind of peel this. Easier said than done when you're on camera. Because there we go. I got it. It's coming. I just hit it right. Come on. There we go. Alrighty, let's see which side the sticky is on. This side, okay. So I'm going to take that off, and I kind of like to bend it like up a little bit, and I'm just going to put it at the bottom of this piece. There we go. Ta-da. And that is going to make a sticker for me. It makes it a lot easier for these little filigree pieces to put on. So let's bring our... And the background will just stamp. So let's bring our cutting machine back over here for a moment. Here we go. Back and forth. Thank you for being so patient with me today. Here's this one. So here's my die cut. I want it at the bottom because I want the darker green. And let's see here. Now, the glimmer paper is a little bit heavier, and then I have the other paper under there. So before I go all the way through, I'm just going to bring it back to me. So I'm kind of going through it twice, rolling it through twice. And then before I take it off, I like to turn it over and see that everything is cut out all the way through there. So there's that cup. Here's my solid cup. And we'll have to decide what we want to put in the cup. I should have probably stamped some leaves or something, but we'll see. We'll see what we want to do. Let's wing it. We're just winging it. Here we go. Got in a little bit of winging it today. Okay, here's my cup. Here's my die with my sparkly stuff on it. So I'm going to take my pickup tool here and just push this all down. And then it'll all come out here. Ta-da. So what you can do is get underneath here. And I just want to pull out the pattern. Let's see here. And maybe some of it, the other part that I don't want, will stay on there. All these little pieces I want to stay on the sheet. It's very delicate. It's really a cool pattern. Come on. Here we go. Okay. And there's just some of the leaves I'm just gonna poke out here. If I had my, I don't think I have it here, my silicone sheet that works really good for putting it on there because it doesn't stick to it. But I'm just going to push these little leaves out here. The centers of the leaves, I guess. Here we go. I just have a big sticker here. Okay, there. I have little green pieces all over me. That's okay. Oops. Okay, so here we go. Here's our lovely piece. Here's our cup. I found it better to start out, I'm starting out at the bottom. I'm just lining it up, going along the edge, and then just pushing it down. Ta-da. I'll put these over here so I don't lose them. I'm so good at losing dies. All right. So this is going to go on here because it's going to mimic this little cup here. Now we have to decide what we want to say or do on here. And this is going to go on top of here. So that's going to bring that sweet sorbet out. All right. So on some of them, what I did, I put a little verse up on top. Let's see here. Treat yourself. Where is it? I like to keep the box here, even though I have the dies over here. Take care of yourself. Fit nicely up on the top there. And then there's a little I miss you, which could go on there. This is the other thing I've been doing. So your new photopolymer, they come with this printed sheet on here, and then you're supposed to just put it on. I've been keeping the lighter sheet and putting it on top of here. Sometimes I'm finding that on some of my sets, they're kind of falling down and kind of clumping up together sometimes. So I just put that on as a protective little sheet. Take care of yourself on there. I mean, we have it, might as well use it, right? So that's how I'm using mine. I'm putting it back to cover up my stamps. So we're going to do this one. Whoopsie, put that over there. And I think we will use the Starry Sky, since that's our base, and I generally do the verses with the darker color. So starry, starry sky, while I was dipping my toe in the Tahitian tide. If you remember my little song. Okay, so I'm just centering it, getting it as close to the top. My cup is going to go here. So I'm wondering if we can take these nice little if it's light enough and the verse will show through. I'm wondering if I can stamp this down on here, how that would look if it goes over that a little bit. And then has this in there. I guess I don't think I like that. I think we're gonna do the green in the background like I did on the other one. I love this big leaf. I love the big leaf. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take Parakeet Party. We're gonna take the Parakeet Party and we're gonna design a background. We're just gonna fill this in. So we're gonna frame around here. And this was just a lot of random stamping. I was filling the space. That's going to go in there. And that will be popped up. And then we could do a couple little flowers, or we could do just dots. And then our one inch piece that's going to go over on the side. We don't want to leave that left out. So I'm just going to put a little bit on there, not much, because I want to, you would sign there, I guess, if I didn't put something bigger on the back side. And we're going to go with, I miss you. I miss you. It's time for tea. All these are really tiny, but it's perfect for this 1 inch piece. So I think what they're made to go on is the little tea bags, but it works out well with this 1 inch thing, 1 inch piece, ta-da, to just go like that. Okie dokie. Let's glue some things together. Let's put this on here. They have some little flowers that I didn't get in yet. And so I think that's what I would maybe put on here, is some little tiny flowers, the 3D flowers. That's coming on Thursday. That's tomorrow. I'll get a bunch coming tomorrow. Okay, so let's put this on. I always have to turn it sideways. I don't know why. And then I look at 3 sides to see if I can get it even, and then I have enough wiggle room with my green. Okay, so here's the trick for putting these two together. So at first I was like, okay, so when you hold them like this, you can see that the 2 folds here bump up next to each other like that. I'm not sure if you can see that underneath here, but the 2 folds do bump up next to each other on there. But the easier way, and then you have to kind of guesstimate. The easier way is both of them are folded right down the center. So what you're going to do is you're going to put adhesive on the back side of this one, on your little one, and then just on the end, about the same size on the bigger square, okay? And it's going to go this way, like this. What I'm going to do is line up the fold here. So 1 fold to the other, and I am just kind of looking at up and down to get it even. Push that down. Ta-da, ta-da. I got glue on me. And then, ta-da, it folds perfectly. It's just a lot easier to leave it flatly laid out, match up your center score lines, and it will fold up perfectly for you. Ta-da. All right. So much fun. Let's put this on here. We're going to pop that up. I did use some of the small mini dimensionals. Actually, I cut one to go on the edge of the cup handle, just to hold that securely here. And then I can use my bigger ones I have things all over here. Wow, I'm a mess. I'm a messy stamper. I don't know how people do it when they're super organized and have everything where it should go. If everything was where it should go, I probably wouldn't be able to find most of it. There we go. Okay. This is going to go here. Ta-da. So you have that nice sparkle. Catches it. And then we're going to put some, more sparkle. We're going to put some of these in here. Should do that one. Or should we do my favorite? I just totally love these iridescent ones. Let's put some of the iridescent ones on. I love the matte ones, but these are fun too. So as long as I have a lot of sparkle going on, I can put some of these iridescent ones. I can even use some of the bigger ones. Sometimes I struggle with where to put the bigger ones, right? Oops, I got hair under there. That's great. Let's see here. We're going to put one over here. We're going to put one over here. I'm going to go up here. And then we'll put a smaller one, medium one here. Because I generally do 3. And we're going to put that right here, I guess. There. Ta-da. So here we go. There was the Wingin' It. Y'all help me make this one up. Take care of yourself. That paper is so much fun. But this is a cool fold. You can see how neat it looks, and it will stand up, which is really nice. Now, if you wanted to make more of a message, you know, if you were writing something personal and you knew that somebody was going to leave this on their desk or whatever, you could put an extra piece. I would, of course, mat it, but put an extra piece on the back to do a nice personal message. But there you go. Ta-da. So here's the ones we did today. Here's our new cards using the Cup of Tea bundle. So much fun. That glimmer paper, yum. Love it. Okay, I'm going to turn this around. I kept y'all too long. Here we go. Okay. You like it, Cheryl? That's good. I'm glad. It's a really fun fold. It doesn't take all that long, but it's a great way to use some of that neat paper that coordinates well together. So, but keeping in mind, you know, what you're covering up, what size print. I like to have things kind of sized out correctly. So, it's fun fold. So thank you so much for joining me. I will be back on Friday and show you some more things, probably with, I don't know. It depends on what comes in on Friday or on tomorrow, what I play with. So I'm not going to promise anything in particular, except that I will be showing you some fun things on Friday. So thank you for joining me today. Have a great day. We'll see you on Friday. Take care. Bye-bye. Oh, I can't get the button. I do this a lot. Eek. Bye.